Hi everyone, Mike Malatesta here, and welcome back to the How Did Happen podcast. On this podcast, I dig in deep with every guest to explore the roots of their success, to discover not just how it happened, but why it matters. My mission is to find and share stories that inspire, activate, and maximize the greatness in you. Hey everybody, it's Mike, and this is the How Did Happen podcast solo series, the short solo episodes that I do on Fridays, every Friday. So if you're familiar with the show, I do this on Friday, and on Mondays, I do a longer form conversation with a How Did Happen success story. And those people can come from all walks of life. I've got entrepreneurs and athletes and academics and people that from the nonprofit world, and just a whole mix of very, very interesting people. And I talk to them about how it happened and, more importantly, why it matters to you. So on Fridays, like today, I do a short episode, usually 10 minutes or so, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter. And today's episode is about something that's kind of fresh and kind of big. I'm not going to get into all the details on this. I just have a little simple story to tell. And the title of this is Billions to Nillions. Billions to Nillions. Nillions is a word that I made up for nil, to match with billions. By now, you're probably familiar with FTX, the Bahamian-based cryptocurrency exchange that was on fire earlier this year, most of the last couple of years. They had huge, big Super Bowl ads, naming rights at various stadiums. They gave millions in political donations, and the list goes on. They basically couldn't do anything wrong. That is, until their own fire, FTX's fire, consumed itself in a rapid explosion. Or maybe it was an implosion. I'm not sure what the right word to use there is. So there are more competent writers than I am, and many more competent podcasters that are actually journalists than I am to dig way into this story. And I'll give you two examples. In the print world, Bloomberg's Matt Levine does a great job of talking about this story and cryptocurrency in general, to help inform people like me about it in a way that I wouldn't otherwise be. And then there's this YouTuber that I watch. His name is CoffeeZilla. Well, that's what he goes by, CoffeeZilla. It's a strange name, but he does some really, really good investigative journalism work, exposing all kinds of stories. And the FTX story is definitely one of those. So both of those, whether you're a YouTuber or a reader, I would go to for more information, because they've dug really deep into the whys around how a company that was founded and run by a quote unquote whiz kid named Sam Bankman-Fried, or SBF for short, that's what he was called, who was, this is the reality. Time magazine just came out recently with their Man of the Year or Person of the Year. And I bet you before this story broke, he was being considered for, their Man of the Year or Person of the Year award. I mean, it was like October of this year, so Halloween time. This guy and this company are on top of the world, and it's amazing how a company by Thanksgiving, so hardly, not even a month later, could be so completely disintegrate. And really, that's not my thing anyway. My thing is not to, do the reporting on this, but I'm just fascinated by the details. So, for example, the story of this collapse, like a lot of other similar stories, whether it's Madoff's story or Ponzi, even going back, way, way back to Ponzi and a whole bunch of others, is really at the core, they're about the pursuit of what I call, easy street success. Easy street. It's about starting a company or starting something for the sole purpose of making, and of course spending, whether altruistically, which was SBF's big thing, that he was committed to giving all of his money away and supporting altruistic causes. Of course, the money turned out not to be his, but it's about, these things are started for the sole purpose of making money instead of creating a company that is built to live forever. It's about racing to a finish line that has no meaning, just to prove that you could get there faster than anyone else. It's about convincing yourself that only suckers fall for this building a great company thing, that's hard work BS. Only suckers fall for that kind of BS. That's for the not so smart people. The people like SBF, for example, might tell themselves, at least when they're not being honest with themselves. Hey everyone, if you like what I'm doing with this podcast and want to participate in more of the things I'm thinking about and exploring, subscribe to my newsletter today. It's super simple. Just go to 𝘾𝙘𝙖𝙧𝙚.com right now, put in your email, and you will get the very next issue. It's short, thoughtful, and designed to inspire, activate, and maximize the greatness in you. The real world, however, rarely cooperates with this kind of thinking, and these kinds of entrepreneurs / founders / whatever you want to call these people. And the reason is simple. Nothing about building a great business, whether you are a genius with an MIT degree or whether you're a high school dropout, is easy or fast. That certainly hasn't been my experience. In my experience, nothing good ever comes from focusing on how much money you can accumulate in the shortest time frame, or in the longest time frame for that matter. It's a false incentive, and it's a lousy way to keep friends, and I'm using quotes for friends, that you bought with money, deception, etc., along the way. It's a lousy way because in the end, everybody gets exposed, everything gets found out, because your motives and your willingness to do something great are all messed up. It's just about the money, or it's just about the ego, or it's just about the fame, and it's not about the business and the customer and the client and the impact. So every time I hear one of these stories, and when you're listening to this, FTX, who knows where FTX will be? It's certainly going to be disintegrated, and where Sam and some of the other people who were involved in this will be. Who knows? Maybe they'll be in jail. Maybe they'll be on Oprah. I don't know. But one thing I do know is that this is another endearing example of the wrong way to go about building a business. So if you're going to get into a business, if you're going to build a business, forget about easy, forget about get rich quick, forget about all of that nonsense, and just build something great, or as great as you can possibly build. And if you do that, you never have to worry about the people you hurt along the way. You never have to worry about people questioning your motives. You never have to worry about not doing things as good as you can do them. You never have to worry about doing the wrong thing. You never have to worry about your story. All you have to worry about is doing what you can every single day to make your business, and your life for that matter, as great as it can be. So thanks for joining me for this Friday episode. I do appreciate having you here. If you haven't yet subscribed to the podcast or followed it, please consider doing so on Apple or Spotify or wherever you get your podcast. If you want to learn more about me, just go to my website, 𝘾𝙘𝙖𝙧𝙚, MALATESTA.com, or hit me up on LinkedIn. I'm active there as well. Thanks for making time for me today. And until next time, maximize your greatness.